Hey there, folks. This is Deeksha Janiani representing Team Trendline. And in this week's video, we will discuss the recent successful SUV launches of Mahindra and Mahindra and how they helped the company garner impressive sales numbers and also led to the re-rating of the stock. We will also be discussing how the company changed its strategy in order to recoup its lost market share. Finally, we'll be discussing the outlook of utility vehicle segment and the upcoming electric sports vehicle launches. So let's get into it. Mahindra stock actually gained over 55% ever since the start of 2022. What worked in its favor? According to the management, the company achieved its highest ever SUV sales in the month of August, registering a rise of over 85%. If you look at its numbers on a year to date basis in FY23, that is between April and August 2022, Mahindra grew ahead of Maruti Suzuki. In fact, Mahindra's wholesales level crossed Maruti's sales level in this period. The company attributes these healthy sales number to its successful recent launches, which were the new Thar, XUV 700, Bolero Neo, and Scorpio N. In fact, some back in December 2021, the managing director of the company, Anish Shah, had clearly stated that if the company manages to have five back-to-back successful launches in the SUV segment, it can actually cement a strong position in the same and think of regaining its number one status in the coming times. Folks, Scorpio N proved to be the fifth successful SUV launch by Mahindra after 2019. Yes, that's right. Mahindra and Mahindra has over 1.4 lakh bookings across its SUV models as of July 1st, 2022. Of these bookings, 50% share is just occupied by the XUV 700 model. See, Mahindra's cars usually appeal to the rural population because of their rugged build. However, XUV 700 is much more modern and sophisticated in design. In fact, it packs a whole lot of features at a start, and it actually also appeals to the urban population, and it has a whole lot of features packed for a starting price of 13.2 lakh. See folks, if any company has to win in an Indian market, it has to offer the right value for money. Across income segments, Indians always love the smell of a great deal. XUV 700 boasts of a smooth ride quality, strong engine, and a decent city mileage. In fact, its top variants come with a advanced driver assist system, which includes safety features like high beam assist, cruise control, and emergency braking. Also, icing on the cake here is the Sony stereo system, which gives a 3D sound effect, two infotainment centers, and a built-in Alexa. This package makes this car much more appealing than its rivals like Tata Safari, Tata Harrier, and Toyota Innova Sistra. Coming to Scorpio N, which is the most recent launch by Mahindra and Mahindra, this car actually received bookings of nearly 1 lakh within 30 minutes of its launch. This is a number which management made a point of mentioning in the analyst call of the recent analyst call as well. If you look at this car, it's robust and yet it is modern in looking, and in fact it has a strong engine of 2200 cc. This car is a full size SUV. That means its length is more than 4 meters, and it is actually coming in a price range of compact SUVs like Hyundai Creta and Kia Seltos. Makes it much more appealing, doesn't it? So see, the common thread between all these new launches is that they offer superior design, they have the right value for money, they have good safety features, great engines, and strong on-road presence. Yes, that's right. In fact, they are built on Mahindra's core of being, robust and rugged. And they also are differentiated in the sense that they have higher aspirational value. Higher aspirational value is something that was new to Mahindra's brand strategy. See, people would want to buy your cars only when they are high tech and cutting edge, and they also offer good performance and the latest features. Yes, that's right. So, one more thing here is that back in 2021, Rajesh Jejurikar, the executive director and Mahindra, had stated that Mahindra was in a midst of a transformation in terms of its brand identity and the way it designs its products. In fact, the company also came up with a new stylized logo under its design head Pratap Bose. Folks, this was also the time when the company announced a new design center in the United Kingdom, which commenced its operations in July 2021. In fact, Anand Mahindra, the chairman of Mahindra and Mahindra, had stated that the aim of MADE was to create authentic and sophisticated SUVs which not only appeal to the legacy customers of Mahindra but also to millennials. In fact, in the inauguration of this organization, Anand Mahindra had stated that design had now become a crucial differentiator in the auto sector. But folks, this importance of focus on your brand, core brand identity and product design is something that Mahindra has learned the hard way. Mahindra has come a long way in last 3 years. Between 2009 and 2019, the company ventured into newer segments, and which neither had the core identity of Mahindra, neither did they offer anything distinct. In fact, in Anand Mahindra's own words, the core of the brand lies in its oldest models, which were of Thar and M&M 540. These were designed for off-road adventure, and these had an intimidating presence. In fact, the most successful cars of Mahindra, which are Bolero and Scorpio, are built on the ideals of live young and live free. These are basically designed for young, energetic, and outdoorsy people. However, when Mahindra ventured into the newer segments of micro and mini SUVs and multi-purpose vehicle, these cars didn't look or felt like a Mahindra car. If you look at Mahindra Xylo and Marazzo, these felt like, these looked like boring mini SUVs and actually lost out to its competitor Maruti Ertiga. Its other micro and mini SUVs like Nuvo Sport and KUV 100 had poor performance and very awkward designs. In fact, my family actually owned the KUV 100. It often went to the garage for its poor engine and had a very poor mileage also. Means it never had the strength of a Mahindra car. Yes, that's right. And while the company was focusing on these non-core segments, it lost its market share in its core segment. If you see its share between FY17 and FY22, it has lost half of its market share. Two players like Kia, Hyundai, and Tata Motors. Folks, point to note here is that SUVs themselves actually grew in share within the overall passenger vehicle segments to 50% from 25% 5 years ago. Yes, that's right. Mahindra was only able to recoup its market share somewhere in the second half of FY22. It actually gained a percent share by the end of Q1 FY23. Its successful launches, helped the company achieve the required sales numbers in FY22. In fact, the company led the industry in terms of its SUV growth. However, if you see, the older models of Marazzo and Xylo actually lost traction in these last 2 years. If we also look at the key segments of Mahindra and Mahindra Group, automotive segment has registered a faster growth than the farm equipment segment. Within the automotive segment, SUVs have grown faster than the commercial vehicles and three-wheelers. See, somewhere in 2021, Anish Shah, who's the again managing director at M&M, had clearly stated that it didn't make any sense for Mahindra to venture into its non-core segment. In the latest analyst meet, also he stated that Mahindra had no intention of venturing into micro SUVs and the sedan segment, and it also makes sense for the company to stick to its core segment because SUVs also will gain a higher share within the passenger vehicle market in the next 6 years. In fact, the company, according to the annual report of the company, it will launch 5 new ICE SUV models, which will be a series to its core brands by 2027. It will also launch 8 new electric sports vehicle model by that year. And in fact, on this Independence Day, it unveiled the 5 prototypes of these models, which will be coming under the XUV series and the Born Electric series. These cars will use the battery infrastructure of Volkswagen, and they will have a new user interface called Inglo. These cars will have a battery capacity of between 60 to 80 kilowatt per hour, and they might offer a mileage range of 500 kilometer per kilowatt hour. So these to achieve these objectives, the company has earmarked a capex of 10,000 crores for the next 5 years. Within this amount, British International Investment will be contributing 1,925 crore for an equity stake. Mahindra and Mahindra might also look for other investment partners later on. The company also has ambitious growth targets for its electric vehicles and aims to clock a wholesale of 2 lakh units by the year FY27. Folks, even if we assume that every cars, every three cars that Mahindra sells out of its SUVs are electric in nature, the company is essentially looking at a sales volume CAGR of more than 20%. To achieve this kind of growth, it is crucial that its electric vehicles and SUVs are successful. In fact, investors should watch out for its upcoming EV launch, which is XUV 400, which is actually an electric version of the XUV 300 model. Folks, I hope you must have gained interesting insights on the strategy change undertaken by Mahindra and Mahindra. This was my time. Thank you so very much and have a great day.